current animated blockbuster Despicable Me 2, then you really need to see him in his newest movie, The Way, Way Back. I predict that you are going to love this movie, and you are going to hate Steve Carell. I have never.
I'm with you.
I've never liked a character in a movie less. Now, maybe it's part of my past.
I like the sergeant from Full Metal Jacket better than I like Steve Carell's character in Way, Way Back.
But it is a testament to Steve's acting ability that he can really play a jerk great. And the Way, Way Back is if you've ever been 14, and I think most of us have, or if you're 14 now,
I skipped it.
You need to see this movie. It's the perfect movie for the summer for the whole family, at least anybody over the age of 13. Steve Carell, welcome to 95.7 KJR in Seattle. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you. I saw the Way, Way Back, and now I've got to go back and take my daughter. She was away, and I wasn't able to see her there, get her there. But that is a great piece of work.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think the movie turned out really well. Very proud of it.
Now, you, sir, I hate you. I mean, at least in that movie.
You're a dick.
I remember being 14. I was from a broken home. I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but there's a young man who goes off to spend the summer with his mom and the mom's boyfriend, who you are, and you feel some need to put some kind of authority on this guy that you have no authority over, and you do it so convincingly. I got to commend you.
He's not the most likable guy, for sure. I don't think he thinks he's being a jerk, but he is, he's tearing this kid down thinking that he's building character. And I think we've all known people like that in our lives.
Well, Steve, I thought you were so convincing that it made me wonder, what was your own dad like? What kind of relationship did you have with him?
He's completely the opposite of this character. Really sweet, kind, nurturing. So yeah, I wasn't pulling from anything. I was mostly pulling from like coaches that I had growing up, who think that tough love is helpful when it can in fact just be cruel and detrimental to a kid's development. So that's really where I was focusing, kind of the image of who this guy was.
Steve, I think I've seen everything you've ever done. I mean, really, I love your stuff. Is this the first time you've played a character like this? And did you have any hesitation at all in taking this role on?
It's the first time I've ever played something like this in a movie, yeah. And no hesitation at all. I read the script, and the first scene in the movie is a scene between Duncan, this 14-year-old kid, and Trent, the character I play. And he is berating this kid, and it's a really mean scene between this guy. It sets up the kind of summer this kid could potentially have. But when I read it, I thought, man, that's like, it rang very true to me. And the reason being that one of the directors and co-writers had experienced exactly that scene. It was based on a true story between he and his stepdad. So I think that's part of the reason it resonated with such a sense of reality, is that it was based in reality.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I give it, 2 whatever's up. Eric loves it. Rotten Tomatoes, which is a place a lot of people go to talk about it. It's the freshest movie of the summer, 96% fresh. There are 2 statistics I read yesterday about you, Steve, and I'm wondering which one makes you prouder: the fact that Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie a 96% fresh rating, or that yesterday during Comcast's earnings call, they happened to mention that Despicable Me 2 has now earned $666 million and is on its way to being a $1 billion movie. What do you feel better about, that your voice is worth $1 billion, or that people love this movie the way out?
I think that has a little bit more to do with these little yellow creatures and how much people love the Minions.
Yeah, the Minions, and they announced yesterday they're gonna have a Minions ride and everything. These Minions are
Minions movie too.
Minions ride. The Minions have their own movie coming out next year. They are taking over the world. Yeah, Despicable Me 2 did really well. I know they were hoping that it would do well, but boy, people really seem to love it. So I think that's great. I'm proud of that one too. You know, it's just a sweet. I think in the same vein, they're both very sweet, feel good kind of movies. You know, you'll walk away from either just feeling better than when you walked into the theater.
Steve, you are a handful of actors that can pull off comedy and drama and do it so convincingly. Do you like doing comedies or do you like doing dramas better?
Well, I think equally so. This movie, to me, the movie's a comedy, but my part in it is more dramatic. I'm really not funny at all in this movie. So that was challenging and fun. It was fun to play a jerk. It's not something I do very often, only in real life, but certainly not in movies. But comedy, I just did Anchorman 2, and that's a completely different, ridiculous, fun, kind of liberating thing to do as well. So I'm lucky that I've been able to do both.
And Brick gets a love interest in Anchorman 2, does he not? With the fabulous Kristen Wiig, who's also your star in Despicable Me 2. Are we going to like Brick and Love?
That might be too strong a word. It's he meets Kristen Wiig's character, and they have a rapport. Let's put it that way.
He had a rapport with a toaster last time I saw him.
No, it was a lamp.
Well,
he loves lamp.
Kristen is someone that he certainly they understand each other. It's funny that you bring it up because I got an email from Judd Apatow last night who saw the first test screening of Anchorman 2 last night and said it killed.
Oh, good.
So I'm excited. I think it's going to turn out really well.
I'm excited too.
We can't wait for Anchorman 2. And right now, if you want to see a movie that I guarantee you're going to love, this weekend, The Way, Way Back is playing in theaters, as well as that little film, Despicable Me 2. Steve Carell, sir, you have it going on, and thank you so much for entertaining us as much as you do.
Oh, that's really kind of you. Thanks.
Yeah, you have a great day, and thanks for being on 95.7 KJR. We appreciate you taking some time. And I definitely...
I appreciate you having me.
Hey, you bet, man. If you're in Seattle, stop in and say hi.
Okay, we'll call you again Monday, okay? Bye.